Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone back and thank you for being here tonight. This is a continuation from the workshop that we've had. Notice it seems like you're on a regular meeting. The board of directors, we have a 5:30 p.m. Consideration of business in the agenda below. So this is posted at the office of the district on June 6, 2024. 3 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551-041, 551-050, 72 hours prior to the time of the session. We do have a forum present. We have Mr. Water, Dr. Lalonde, Mr. Friedman. Absent, we have Jason Starkey, and present we have Mr. Donovan. We've already done the Pledge of Allegiance. This takes to item 3, invitation to the audience for public comments. We do have someone present that would like to speak. Mrs. Young, if you could please state your name. This is Mr. Young, excuse me. Glenn Young?
Yes, sir.
If you could state your name and your purpose for public comment.
My name is Glenn Young. I'm the general manager of Long Island Village. The purpose of my comment is for item 11 on this agenda about the proposed sanitary sewer, water, and paving improvements for Long Island Village. I have a prepared statement I would like to read.
Yes.
I'm also here with the president of the board of directors, Barb English, and another director, Romeo Rodriguez, who is the chairman of the infrastructure committee at Long Island Village. This is a comment and appeal to the board of directors of the Laguna Madre Water District. This is presented on behalf of Long Island Village and pertains to agenda item 11. The discussion and possible approval of awarding the proposed sanitary sewer, water, and paving improvements for Long Island Village to Southern Trenchless. Please do not award this contract. The amendments call for the deletion of paving and the deletion of the water and sewer yard lines for each lot. Every presentation to the residents of the village has stated that this project would include new streets, paving, and installation of the service to each lot, yard lines for water and sewer. The bids have come in over budget, and the suggested manner to reach budget was by deleting these services. As far as is known, there was no discussion of changing material specifications and not of alternative funding. Rather, the costs associated with these deletions were shifted onto the owners association or the individual lot owners. Every owner needs yard lines, and the streets were promised to be newly paved. In addition, it seems Laguna Madre Water District is requesting the $1.4 million restricted for cost overruns immediately. That a cost overrun is in place before the contract is awarded. Page 4 of the project funding agreement dated April 26, 2023, and signed by representatives of LMWD and LIVOA states, in the event the costs of the project exceed $19,705,000, being the amount of bond proceeds on deposit in the construction fund on $18,305,000 and the restricted funds on deposit in the LIV Infrastructure and Improvement Fund in the amount of $1,400,000. The district and LIV shall promptly discuss and negotiate the providing of additional funds necessary to complete the project. It is our understanding an alternative method of awarding contracts is being suggested tonight, and LIV is eager to continue a positive working relationship with all parties in getting this project accomplished. Please do not award the contract tonight, and let us continue to work together to find an agreeable solution and best value for the services proposed. Thank you.
For your comments, Mr. Young. Anyone else at this time? Anything else to add? Staff, board? No? Let's move along to item 5. General manager's report.
Oh, okay,
Consider and discuss the possible approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of May 22nd, 2024. Seconded by Mr. Mr. Donnelly, second by Mr. Barber, all those in favor?
Aye.
They are, any opposed? None, thank you, motion carries. Five, general manager's report, Carlos.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sherman and members of the board. I do have two bullets there. One is for the levels of the combined reservoir levels, Amistad and Falcon Lake. They're dropped 1%, 1/10 of a percent of a foot yesterday to today, from 18.5 to 18.4 feet. So that means it's dropping. The other bullet that I have there is in concern to our drought management plan, that I'd like to come back at the next board meeting and talk about the level that we switched to stage 4, which is 15%. But the thing that I've been seeing is that we have plenty of water at Falcon Lake itself, at the dam, that we can still continue, if it reaches to 15%, continue receiving water from there, because we have allocations of a lot of acre feet of water there that belongs to us. The thing is that I'm gonna bring this plan back at the next meeting, and I am going to recommend the lowering the 15% to maybe 13 or 12%, because we do have a lot of water. There's no need to panic at this time. The water district in itself, right, the Laguna Madre Water District has, how many acre feet do we have up there?
Like the
30, what,
the
available,
5,900?
available.
Oh, I don't, do you know what our balance is sitting at right now?
Or I don't know what our
It's
balance
like,
Yeah,
is.
more than 4,000 acre feet that we have. So, I believe that, we are gonna have some rain pretty soon. I think there's a couple of storms coming in and brewing up in the Gulf of Mexico. So, I don't want, panic our customers for that reason, that we have a lot of water, and, we're gonna make it through July and August. September is a different story, because, the demand is way less. So it's up to the board. When I bring it next week, if you all are okay with that, I just don't wanna panic, the customers and all our,
But I still think we should stress the conservation.
yes, oh,
And water saving.
we have,
drips,
right.
Some of those, don't be a drip, some of
Right.
those things, that's my fault.
Okay,
I'm with you as well. I think we gotta continue to stress conservation. At the same time, the triggers in stage 4 are severe.
yes,
And I mean,
yes.
basically to the point where nobody can water landscape. I mean, it would cause a lot of economic pain to people. I also think and to our revenue as well, and so if you can start like a negative feedback loop. So I mean, we got less revenue coming in, we're not able to meet their needs, and it just cycles down from there. The 30-day consecutive days worries me too. So like if it dips,
Yeah.
and then we go into stage 4, and then the next day it's back up and there's a big rain, but now we're waiting 30 more days.
Yep.
That has me slightly
And it's
concerned.
happened before that,
Right, so I mean, I just think
the last
looking
minute,
at that
Mhm.
responsibly, thanks for looking at it.
yes. So
Great.
I'll bring it at the next meeting. I just wanted to make sure the board understands what I'm trying to do here.
Great.
And that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Six, aggressive operations report.
Chairman, members of the board, for the month of May, the operation report shows that the service calls and call outs were less than the month of April. In April, we had 511 service calls, call outs, and in May, we had 342. That difference is about 168. Most of those differences, that difference was really comprised of two areas, basically water taps and the registers, faulty registers. We went down from installing 159 in April to 32 in May. So it's looking better. Yes. Yeah, it's the meters, registers, that's basically what it was. Hopefully we're coming down to where they keep functioning and we don't have to be repairing.
What's the total installation?
Sorry?
How long do you think one installation?
Those have been, they've been being installed as we get them. And in the last, this month of May, we only had to install 32.
Yeah, you've got a whole bunch of them stored, right?
Yes. we
Right.
have some. In the collection side, the service calls and call outs went up from 38 in April to 81. And those service calls or service orders were basically in the preventive maintenance area and the electrical. The preventive maintenance, as we were talking during managers meetings, that is critical to our staff as well as to the public, because what they do is they put out there the microsol so that keep the sewers from getting clogged up, and also the call outs on the managers during the weekends or at night. And then the on the pre-treatment, lift station, the service costs were, service orders were pretty much the same. They went up from 43 in April to 49 in May. And most of that was in the clean outs of the lift station went well. That increased by 7. That's the operations report for the month of May. Any questions? Thank you,
Thank you,
Chairman.
Robert. Item 7, district engineer's report.
So this is the engineer's report. We touched on this on the workshop, but it's mainly just an update on the 2023 consumer confidence report and the fact that we're gonna reissue the a revision to reflect that new ECMR5, the additional water monitoring that it's become, just looking at the lithium and the PFAS chemicals that are doing like a new round of testing to determine if additional damage should be regulated, in the water supply. And so we did find, lithium coming in at 40 with the health-based reference concentration being 10. And we did have to find 30 of the PFAS chemicals, even though there's not really a limit understood yet. But basically, when we look into where we're at with the final PFAS rule, which is just jumping over to the second bullet point. I mean, we're at the point of just collecting data, find out what's really in the system, because knowledge really isn't known. So from what we've collected, there's nothing that's triggered, an immediate health hazard or a red flag that would trigger anything. I mean, in general, with these new PFAS rules, there's key dates within 2027 and then by 2029. 5 years to 2029 is when water systems must comply with all of the PFAS maximum contaminant levels. And between now and then, it's a matter of collecting data and it's going to compliance and their standards. That's what's going to be happening over the next couple of years. So as these chemicals are identified, in general, they expect that maybe 10% of the Texas water systems to be affected by this new rule. That's kind of what they're targeting at this stage. And so whether or not we're going to be affected on at this first round, we don't see any hazards. But the treatment that we're doing because it's our, and so that's one of those methods where we're looking at different river water, running the seawater, and push through our additional benefit beyond the scarcity of the river is the fact that we'd be removing these forever chemicals that are potential regulations, in 2029 timeframe. So that's really kind of the update.
This is something that we were gonna send out,
Yes.
mail out to the customers.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it goes out with the monthly bill.
Yeah.
There's a link on the bottom of the bill that you can enter it directly, and it'll take you directly to this.
So there, a little bit, Charles. Thanks. So it's not actually mailed. It's just a link at the bottom. Go look
It's
at
just a
this.
link at the bottom, and if you can receive emails, it'll be at the bottom of the bill in the email. We have, printouts that people can pick up here in the main office, stuff like that.
Is there a requirement for how soon we have to send that out after the end of the year?
Yeah, you're required to send it before July 1st. And everybody needs to have it by that date, and we present the date that we send it out to the public, to TCQ.
Thanks for doing it on time.
It should be on our website too.
Great, thanks.
And that concludes the engineering report.
Take item 8, consider and remove from the table the following item table as a regular May 22nd, 2024. Consider and discuss the possible approval of amendment number 5 of Priest and Nichols Inc. for professional engineering services for water system improvements. Motion made by Dr. Lewan, second by Mr. Water, all those in favor? Aye. None opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, consider and discuss for possible approval of amendment number 5 to Priest and Nichols Inc. for professional engineering services for water system improvements.
And, based on the workshop discussion, we recommend no action at this time.
Takes us to item 10, consider and discuss the possible approval of members for the capital bond planning committee.
All right, and so, yeah, we have the same members listed from the engineer's report at the last meeting. And we just recommend approving that list as our starting point with adding additional members as needed to get a maximum number of 20 participants.
What is your plan once this list is approved?
We can move as fast or as slow as what makes sense for, our upcoming projects, whether it be water or sewer. So there's really not a definite schedule on horizon. It's just that we can, proceed as.
I have a HOA meeting coming up, and I would, if you wouldn't mind, if we can just hold off since we don't have anything else actually doing it. We're able to either just take no action or table it, just for right now. So yeah, let's just talk to a couple, since I know we're not moving forward on it tomorrow. I'd like a little bit more time to talk to them. Yeah, can we table it for like a month or two?
Maybe,
while we
just
continue
no
to work
action
on
on
this
it.
stuff
I
in the
think it
summer?
would be better to no action on it.
It's not a roll.
Let's take no action on it. I mean, that would be my recommendation for it. Take no action. Maybe get to the end of the summer until we can get some momentum. I know my neighborhood, it's hard to get movement on stuff right now because only half the people are around because they're on vacation, right? So I'm suggesting no action.
Moves us along to, and this is the beginning of the good list, I'd like to add.
Yeah.
Takes us to item 11, consider and discuss the possible award of proposed sanitary sewer water abatement improvements for Long Island Village Seaside Community to Southern Trenches, subject to negotiating schedule of values, bid number LIV 240501.
All right, and just to recap, I recommend a change, a different recommendation than how the board item was written. So basically, we received 2 bids on May 31st. One bid being from Southern Trenches Solutions, second bid bidding from Foremost Paving. And so our base bid from Southern Trenches was $29,025,364.61. And our base bid from Foremost Paving was $37,557,919. And then for a bid alternate, which is to treat and place pipes and sewer reductions, we're able to save $550,770.50 on the Southern Trenchless Solution bid, and Foremost presented no bid on the alternate. So when we compare that to our budget and the engineer's estimate, we were at 19 million for our estimate, and these are the 2 bids we received. Having an estimate of 19 million, so they're all spread out pretty far apart. And if we look in the details of components of the system that we need to address, our water system, without getting into yard lines, this is the water system, all the way up to the meter. We're looking at 6,378,000. The sewer lift station force mains, we're at 4.4 million. And then pretty much as we get into collection, that's where it gets over budget. And without getting into further detail, I mean, at this stage, we just recommend to reject all bids.
Motion to reject.
Right, and then we're gonna rebid in multiple contracts.
I assume you have met with the people that are in this room who came and expressed their significant, investment in this?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I mean, I would expect anything that came to this table would, to this board, would also meet their muster as well. Right? Yeah, before we come here. And if not, I mean, we would have to discuss that. If we come to a standstill, so,
Yes.
right?
Been discussed.
Yeah,
Motion made by Mr. Donovan,
second.
seconded by Dr. Lewan, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. In the event of maybe in the event of a shortfall such as the proposed bids, what is the money? I mean, check the whole project or what's the supplemental funding or additional funding? What is it, if need be, to cover that big gap?
I mean, I
If the
think,
second round of bids come in, I mean, what's the alternative?
I mean, I think
We
we'll be
have
able
that
to.
discussion yet or not yet?
Yeah, it's, I mean, there's gonna be efficiencies when we rebid, because I think it's gonna bring more competitiveness to the table, versus more bids, bringing in the smaller pieces. You know, again, it comes down to that section 4 of the financial agreement, as far as, you know, how the district and Long Island Village should probably discuss and negotiate providing of additional funds necessary to complete the project. And that's, you're really, we're at the point of having to implement that part of the financial agreement to make this project work. And I mean, that's gonna just be done through negotiation.
And that's their plan entirely, or I mean, it's their choice, their decision.
Well, I think it's a decision, you know, with us as the administrator.
I think we need to ask these questions because this is a possibility coming up.
I mean, we just saw it with our things we've been doing, right? So, I mean, we've been planning projects for years. You guys know it takes a long time. And by the time from engineering to start date, it's 2 years and suddenly costs have gone up significantly. We're experiencing that on other things. So, there's no easy way to do it, but we can't, you know, the last thing we would do is want to force a project on somebody to be like, hey, your costs are 50% higher. So, you know, find out how to pay us by and start tearing up the streets, right? So we'll have to come to some agreement ahead of time.
Fairly soon, because we realize costs.
Yeah, because costs just keep going up.
We're
They're
facing
not gonna
time
go
and-
down.
It won't get cheaper, that's for sure.
Right, and so I think there's some significant changes in some of the materials and so forth.
Then we'll get us to where we need to be.
That can get us where we need to
Okay,
be. Yeah.
Great.
that's exciting.
And I expect that that's good for everyone. Okay, folks. Great, thanks. Good luck. Let us know we can help.
And we'll do our best to make sure that they're happy, and we're gonna be happy too, because we're gonna get the project completed somehow. So we'll work at the cost. estimate.
Just all the O&M costs that go away, it's a new system, I mean, so that it's everyone. So.
I mean, water bottles can be fit in a Chevy Traverse.
I've never had one, so. Okay, let's stay in order and take it item 12. Consider and discuss the possible approval of change proposal number 7, SCADA service laptop computer for water treatment plant number 1. Approval.
Right, and this is a request that came from IT, and it's basically a laptop purchasing all the software, and that's the majority of this cost of software. So we'd be able to have that redundancy for all this data improvements that we're getting at water plant one. And so we recommend this proposal for an increase of $21,566.06.
This was in the budget or is this?
Well, this was in the budgeted amount that from the tax fund. That's within the available funds.
So moved.
Motion made by Dr. Lyon, second by Mr. Water, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 13, consider and discuss the possible approval of financial report for March 2024.
Good evening. I just want to highlight a couple things from the financial report for March. Halfway through the year, we're continuing to see our revenues beating expectations for the water and wastewater services, which is where the majority of our revenues are coming from. We attribute that to the construction, there's a lot of construction going on, especially with the here in the Port Isabel area, the LNG facilities. And we're also, the rate change that we made is contributing to that as well. So versus last year, which was a low revenue year, we're at 45%. And on the expenditure side, we're in line for the general fund with our expenditures.
Motion to accept financial report.
Dr. Lamont, second by Mr. Donahue, all those in favor?
Aye.
Item 14, consider and discuss the possible approval of the truck bar and parking lot reconstruction.
We advertised a request for proposal for the reconstruction of the truck parking lot. We have a lot of participation, a lot of interest on this proposal, and staff is recommending for approval for parking lot reconstruction to T&J Site Construction LLC for $142,593.96.
Motion approved.
Motion for approval made by Mr. Donahue,
Second.
second by Mr. Dr. Lamont, all those in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to item 15, consider and review expenditures from May 1st, 2024 to May 31st, 2024. Acknowledgement, questions, comments, acknowledged by Ms. Conjure, acknowledged by Mr. Freeman, acknowledged by Dr. Lamont, and acknowledged by Mr. Waller. Item 16, executive session. We have executive session, not having, executive session.
No action. So we'll be the next time.
Yes. Executive session permitted by the meetings act, BCCA government code section 551. Consultation with attorney under section 551074. Personnel matters which authorizes the holding of such closed for executive session. I have a full board. The discussion with deliberation regarding the evaluation of the district employees to the general manager. I asked that we no action, no action. Item 17, consideration and action on executive session. There is none. Item 18, that adjourns this meeting